Today I'm driving the 2023 Camry Hybrid. This is the Nightshade Edition based off the SE grade. And the 2024 model year just got announced with very little changes, just some pricing differences to be honest. So this is effectively going to cover the 2024 model year as well. But in today's video, we're gonna do a little efficiency test. We're gonna take it in town, take it on the highway, tell you all the things I like and don't like about this Camry Hybrid. And at the very end, we'll also do a little buying guide on me walking you through the different trim levels and which Camry Hybrid is going to be the best buy in my opinion. Hit the like button if you're a fan of the Camry and let's get into it. Now driving around town is incredibly smooth, pretty quiet, though the riding quality in here is impressive. It reminds me a little bit of a Subaru. The Subarus I've been driving lately on their new Subaru platform are insanely smooth, luxury-like, and we're really close to Lexus ES luxury with the ride quality here, which this shares a lot with the Lexus ES. They're both built in Kentucky on the K platform. But where this fails compared to the Lexus ES, because it's also a lot cheaper than a Lexus, is the noise isolation. So once you get above 30, 35 miles an hour, you start hearing a little tire noise. And you also, it's not that it's annoying, but you do hear noise coming in from lawnmowers, weed eaters, other cars around you through the glass. All right, let's take this around the turn here. Handling in the Camry, it feels fairly big because it is a larger sedan, but it is nimble. You feel really low to the ground. It feels planted and it doesn't feel like it's tipping at all to one side. So I love the feeling of, it's just the traditional sedan feeling that the Camry offers you here. And in this SE, the sportier trim with these 19-inch wheels, we do feel like you are glued to the road a little bit more. And I guess I can segue into the Camry SE Nightshade. What's special about this that I'm driving? Well, it has 19-inch TRD wheels, and you only get these wheels on the TRD model with the V6. So it's cool that you can get these in a much lower price point. This vehicle comes in around $32,000 or so. We'll talk about the price at the end when we do our buying guide. And you also get some blacked out accents in the headlights, as well as the rear Camry lettering is blacked out, as well as the SE. And you get a little spoiler on the back that's black as well. But other than that, it's very much a Camry SE hybrid on the inside. Now, unfortunately for this Nightshade, I cannot get a lighter interior. You're stuck with this black interior, which the seats are very comfortable in here. And in terms of build quality, well, at least the materials, it's not that impressive. When you open and close the doors, it's a little tinny, but I'm not getting any creaks or rattles, and it's not exactly fresh off the press where everything's fitting tightly together. If I flip the odometer here, it has about 8,500 miles, 8,453 miles on the clock. So it's broken in at this point, and I don't hear any squeaks, rattles going on. Everything feels very, very tight in here, like it just came off the assembly line. With the SE being the base sport model of the Camry Hybrid, it doesn't come with a lot of extra features. I don't have heated seats in here. Luckily, I do have Android Auto, which is not plugged in right now, but it's wired through the USB cord. And I actually have a USB-C and USB-A underneath the armrest here, which you can feed to the back seat. Since there are no plug-ins back there for the rear passengers, it's easy to just feed from the center console. That's not a big issue for me. There is no vents for the back passengers though, which is a bit unfortunate in a large vehicle like this. I got to bring up the cargo capacity because I took this to Sam's Club this week, loaded up like four 4-gallon water tanks. I loaded up a ton of food, and there's still tons of room in the trunk. So if you think you need a crossover for storage, that's not necessarily the case. Now, in a sedan, it's not maybe as easy to get in and out of compared to like a RAV4 or a Corolla Cross liftback or hatchback situation. But even over at 6 foot, it wasn't hard for me to get in and out of that rear trunk, but I'm also young. Speaking of in and out of the vehicle, this Camry does sit very low to the ground, which helps its aerodynamic efficiency as well as its handling characteristics. But if you're a little bit older and you want something that's easier to get in and out of. A crossover is going to be a lot easier to get in and out of than this, as well as the crown, which we'll talk about the crown and the buying guide at the end. Now the sound system in here, and luckily I have a volume knob and a tuning knob, and this will be going away with the next generation, with giving us a bigger screen, which I'm okay with a bigger screen, because when you plug in Android Auto in here, I'll play some B-roll. It is just so squished down. But the volume knob to the radio system, the radio in here, even though it's the base audio system, sounds really good. You know, it's not gonna wow anyone in terms of the world's deepest bass, but it gets super loud and it sounds decent when you push it to really high levels. So I'm very impressed with the bass sound system in here. Don't feel like you need to upgrade it. And living in South Florida, AC is super important, and this Camry Hybrid blows cold air so well. There was a lot of competition out there that it takes forever to cool the car down, and even then you always have to run the fans super high. Now it's not super hot right now, it's 86 degrees. We're not in the heat of the day as of yet. In South Florida, it's only 9 o'clock. Yeah, it's 86 at 9 o'clock with about 100% humidity. But at one fan speeds at 72, the Camry Hybrid is doing an amazing job keeping this cabin frosty cold. I do like the simplicity of the climate control, and I even have dual climate control up here, which is nice. Dedicated buttons for front defrost, as well as rear and side mirror defrost. And I like how that they actually put the side mirror defrost next to it, because a lot of manufacturers just bake it into the same button and you don't actually know that the side mirrors are being heated with which button. So that's great to have. And just the simplicity of the fan control here, I can easily turn it off. I mentioned the dual climate control, which is great, and the rotary knob is excellent for temperature control. So I love the simplicity here. The beauty of the interior is not great. I think that's a little messy with all this, as well as the screen kind of popping up here, but the functionality of it is amazing. And I can get, you know, since I'm mainly eyes on the road, I can get over this not looking super, you know, modern and pleasing to the eye. Cup holders work well in here. I like how they're stationed right next to the physical, like the straight on physical shifter here, which is excellent. You also have different sport modes. I've just been driving in normal mode here. I haven't found it too touchy or at all compared to, let's say, the Sienna Hybrid, which is a similar hybrid to this. I had to drive that in eco mode because it was really touchy in low speed operations. Here in normal mode is perfectly fine for predictability and smoothness. You also have auto brake hold in here, so I can just take my foot off the brake pedal here and still be in drive, and I don't have to smash the brake every time I come to a stop. And then the auto brake hold, just to release it, you just press the gas pedal and you start taking off. .65 to 60 and 8.09 to 100 kilometers per hour. Not that impressive compared to like the V6 version of this vehicle, but when you're getting 45 plus miles per gallon, that's plenty quick in my opinion. I haven't mentioned that the leather wrapped steering wheel feels excellent. It's just the right amount of thickness. It's got great stitching on it as well. You also have these paddle shifters, which I played with, and it actually does a good job with some engine braking, but honestly, if I own this car, I would never ever use them. As well as the sport shifter here that you can flip into and also do the same thing as you can do with the paddle shifters. But without even thinking, I'm already up to about 65 miles an hour. Pedal down here. Takes a second to downshift, and there's 80. So it went from about 65 to 80 in just a couple seconds. Plenty quick, like I showed you. It's a little over 200 horsepower here, but since you don't have a traditional automatic transmission to row through gears, it's much more decisive. It picks up really quick here and makes the most out of that 200 horsepower. So that's, you know, mixed between the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder and the 2 motor setup on the front. This doesn't have a rear electric motor for all-wheel drive like we see in so many other Toyota models, like the Crown, for example. But that should change with the next generation model. But let's get back to this guy, since we're driving out here on the highway. This road is notoriously loud. You can see it's pretty chewed up. I don't know why this portion is so loud here. I'm not getting hardly any wind buffeting, maybe a little bit off of this, but I'm hearing some sort of other vibration that's more loud. I don't know if it's coming from here or somewhere. Some plastic piece has a small, like, high-pitched little rattle to it, and that's far more annoying to me than the road noise or the wind noise. And now I don't have the rattle, so it may have been something that I've already tapped on and it's gone away. So this has a slightly outdated Toyota Safety Sense technology on here. This is Toyota Safety Sense 2.5. It does have radar cruise control. The blind spot monitor here is optional for this SE grade. How does it do keeping me in the center of the lane? It's actually doing a really good job. Now it's just going straight here. The 3.0 from Toyota and Lexus safety system you see on the newest models is a little bit better, especially in the turns at tracing the center of the road here. But I think if you're not coming from a car with lane tracing, you're going to be pretty happy with this 2023 and 2024 Camry safety setup. Now, if I haven't mentioned comfort, I do feel really comfortable in the Camry. The right ergonomics, my elbows sit at the perfect level on the armrest, and the armrest on the door is soft. The center console armrest is soft. My hands can easily just rest on the steering wheel. And I have lots of leg room here to move around, so that's great for long road trips as well. You know, I mentioned the road noise. You get used to it, but you don't hear any wind noise or road noise at all when you have your tunes playing. So is it really that big of a deal if you listen to music a lot in your cars? Probably not. Just filled up at 7-Eleven and the clock says 47 miles per gallon. I filled up 2.5 gallons over 111 miles. So that works out to be about 44 miles per gallon, which makes sense. Now, the EPA estimate's 46 miles per gallon for this, but Toyota gives us the same miles per gallon estimate as the smaller wheel SE model with 18-inch wheels. So it makes sense that it's 44 miles per gallon, not 46 miles per gallon. Now, I'm pretty darn good at getting high efficiency on Toyota Hybrid. So I've kept the AC at just 1 bar. It's flat here, it's warm here. So 44 miles per gallon is probably best case scenario for this SE Nightshade with these 19-inch wheels. So let's get back into the studio where we get into the buying guide for the Camry Hybrid. I just got back in the office and we're going to look at the different ways you can build your Camry Hybrid and which is the best way to do it. But I just want to pull this up. With 44 miles per gallon in the SE Nightshade with the big wheels, with a 13-gallon tank, your range per fill up is 572 miles. Now, if you get the base LE and you're getting 52 miles per gallon times 13, you're getting over 670 miles in one fill up. It's absolutely insane how far the Toyota hybrids can go on just one fill up. So in the video, I drove this guy, the 23 Camry SE Hybrid Nightshade at $33,185. But check this out. For the 2024 model, exact same car, it's actually gone down in price. It's less than $33,000. So maybe a $300 difference because the base price has gone down for the Camry SE Hybrid here. So $30,890 compared to $31,190. What's that $300 difference? That's pretty cool that the Camry's cheaper for 2024 than it was for 2023. And the 2025 model will bring in an all new redesign, but unless you need to have the latest safety technology as well as the newest design or the newest this, newest that, I feel like the current Camry is still an amazing buy. All right, so let's get to the buying guide here with the Camry Hybrid. If the only thing that matters to you is maximum efficiency, then you need to get the LE Hybrid because the rest of these go down to around 44, 47 miles per gallon. With 44 being best case scenario for the 19-inch wheel models. I don't think you're going to see much better efficiency than that, to be honest, with how much I babied that thing today. And Toyota gives us this amazing comparison here for these models. Now, the top models have the available 360 camera, which in my opinion is completely unnecessary on this size of vehicle because it comes standard with the backup camera. Now, blind spot monitor is an optional package on all of these Camrys, so that's great to see. So here's the thing with the SE Hybrid Nightshade, it does not have a sunroof. I forgot to mention that when I was driving it. because it doesn't bother me that much, because in Florida, typically roofs, they're beautiful during the winter time where you can look up at the palm trees all the time, but in the summertime, the roofs just make the car hotter. So it doesn't bother me that much, but if you need to have it, then go for an SE, or you can even get the sunroof on, or what they call it a moonroof, on the LE Hybrid as well. The XLE as well as the SE Hybrid, that's not the Nightshade, because the Nightshade comes with 19-inch wheels, but the SE Hybrid Standard as well as the XLE come with 18-inch wheels. Different styles though, but the XSE comes with 19-inch wheels, which is going to give you 44 miles per gallon. You'll have 52 miles per gallon with these 16-inch wheels, and then I would probably say with the 18-inch wheels, it's going to be about 46 miles per gallon. All the sport models have the same exhaust. You have a single exhaust with a dual tip. But if you want the black rear spoiler, actually the only way you can get it is on the SE Nightshade model. It's not even on the XSE as an available option, unless you get the XSE V6 model, but that's different. And what I like so much about the SE grade as well is you get the Softex seat. I sat in the car for a couple, maybe 2-3 hours this morning, and I had great comfort on the Softex seats. I can't speak for the cloth seats on the LE Hybrid, but I bet the leather seats on the XLE are pretty comfortable as well. Now, if you need to have the bigger MID, you have to go for the XSE or the XLE. I had no problem with a little archaic at this point, power meter on the left, speedometer on the right, and the tiny 4-inch screen in the middle and between them still gave me all the information I needed, even though it wasn't the most accurate. But that's not due to the screen size, that's due to the estimation software of the miles per gallon, saying that I should have got 47, but I only got 44 miles per gallon. Now, also a reason I would skip the LE if you can is because it doesn't have a leather wrapped steering wheel. You're going to have more of a plastic steering wheel here on the LE. My hands have to be happy all the time when I'm in a car. So gotta have happy hands on the nice leather trim steering wheels that you see on the XLE, XSE, and the SE models. So while these bronze coated TRD wheels look amazing, I think I would just go and build on the SE Hybrid, to be honest. Save a little bit of cash here. It's about $1,000 cheaper. And let's do this. So I like the Cavalry Blue. I think it looks a little bit better than the Reservoir Blue that we saw in the video today. But more importantly, guys, I can get the Ash Softex interior, this lighter interior. Nightshade only comes with the black interior. So I want the lighter interior here in hot Florida. That's the way I am going. And let's go ahead and go to next step. These are your packages. I don't need this cold weather package. It's hot here in Florida. Yes, that's how you get the moonroof on there. So you can do that if you want, but I'd rather save the money, get just the blind spot monitor here and call it a day. So what are we looking? We're looking at $31,585 for this Camry SE Hybrid. Look at what's around me. I got some SE Hybrids around $30,000 as well on discount. Now I have to go about 100 miles to get this sort of deal. Now here's the thing. If you're paying much over $35,000 on your Camry Hybrid, whether it's an XLE or XSE, you might be better off going with this car, which is the Crown. Now this is the base Crown, but it gives you more horsepower. You got 240 horsepower if I remember right. And you also have electronic all-wheel drive, so you have an additional electric motor here. It's easier to get it in and out of compared to the Camry. Check out the interior, even though this has cloth seats. I've sat in the XLE Crown before. Make sure to watch my walk around. Let's see here. I think this one has images of the interior. So if you're going to spend nearly $40,000 on a Camry, I'm going to say don't. Buy a Crown instead, unless you hate the looks of the Crown, and I understand. But the cloth seats I felt like were very high quality. The steering wheel in here is amazing. You have this large 12-inch screen compared to with the 7-inch screen that I had in my model, which is there's an optional 9-inch screen, but not worth it. Anyways, you also have a fully digital 12-inch screen behind this. This car is also built in Japan. It should hold its value pretty well. It's just far more modern. Even on this base, you have auto folding mirrors here. So even though this is the base grade, it still has tons of technology, tons of features, better powertrain, better safety as well because it's upgraded, better steering wheel, more modern steering wheel. Just everything on here is a better car. And that's why it costs more. If you're thinking XLE or XSE, think about the Crown too before you pull the trigger. But let me know down below, are you going to get a leftover Camry for 2023 or 2024? Or are you just going to wait for the 2025? You can't make a bad decision because the current Camrys, especially the hybrid that I drove, is just so darn good. It's efficient. It's responsive. It rides really well. I like the styling on it. I think it's held up, especially in the sport models, the SE and the XSE. I really don't like the front bumper of the LE and the XLE models, but that's just my personal taste. Also, I haven't even talked about the V6 a whole lot. And the V6, this is the last year for 2024 that we'll have the V6 in the Camry. So that might be something important that you want to get before we probably go full hybrid with the next model. But I'm going to end there. Thank you guys for watching. Can't wait to see your thoughts and opinions on the Camry Hybrid down below. Appreciate you for watching this far into the video. If you haven't hit the like button, I would appreciate that. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great day and peace.